As many know, Greenland is one of the nations that has suffered the most from global warming. Due to rising temperatures, the permafrost in this territory has been disappearing, to the point that in recent years, large areas of this part of the world have appeared. Yes, the weather phenomenon has caused many problems, but while some are concerned about what is happening in this part of the world, others seem to be more interested in things to do with treasure hunting. Wait, what? Treasure hunts in Greenland? Why would people do that? What do you think they'll find for loot in those lands that have surfaced? What makes you think that? As ridiculous as it sounds, it seems that some of the world's richest men believe that the west coast of Greenland hides a whole host of secrets and wonders to be discovered. Of course, among them lies unparalleled treasure, which is why they have decided to move an entire contingent to the land of eternal winter. Has anything new been discovered there? Let's take a look at the story. One thing that is clear to most people is that the climate crisis is causing an unprecedented problem for the planet. We have already heard the terrible stories that have emerged in recent years due to global warming and the strange behavior of the Earth's surface. Countries going through their worst droughts, forest areas almost devoured by water. Yes, the situation seems to be one of the most threatening scenarios ever known. But nevertheless, there are still people who have decided to put their wealth above this scenario. Specifically, a certain group of millionaires who have decided to set their sights on one of the most hostile territories on the planet, Greenland. The land of eternal winter is known to many as one of the coldest areas of our world, or at least it was until a few years ago. Thanks to climate change, Greenland is melting at an unprecedented rate, which, in an ironic twist, is creating an opportunity for investors and extractive companies seeking a mineral treasure trove with the ability to drive metamorphosis into green energy. This unique group, which includes renowned billionaires such as Jeff Bezos, Michael Bloomberg, and Bill Gates, has chosen to rely on what lies beneath the surface of the hills and valleys of Greenland's Disco Island. Similarly, the Nussuaq Peninsula is also a target for all of them, as it is thought there are enough critical minerals to power hundreds of millions of electric vehicles. Quote, "We're looking at a deposit which is perhaps the first or second largest nickel and cobalt deposit in the world," Kurt House, chief executive of Cobalt Metals, told CNN. With the melting of the Arctic ice, opinions on the matter have taken on very different nuances. On the one hand, Greenland has become the area most affected by climate change, but on the other, the disappearance of the permafrost could turn Ground Zero into one of the best places to extract those necessary metals that will lead to a solution to the crisis. What would you do if you were in their shoes? As mentioned in the previous section, a group of tycoons have decided to support the cause of cobalt metals, providing funding rarely seen before. The California-based startup and mineral exploration company received donations and other contributions from Bezzos, Bloomberg, Gates, and others, but chose not to respond to CNN's requests for comment while covering the story. Instead, a Cobalt representative said the organization has partnered with Blue Jay Mining to find the rarest and most precious metals that exist in Greenland. The ones needed to build electric vehicles and huge batteries capable of storing renewable energy. So, the Alliance sent 30 geologists, geophysicists, cooks, pilots, and mechanics to camp at the site, where Cobalt and Blue Jay believe they will find their buried treasure. Because of the premise they have been offered, CNN became the first media outlet with visual evidence of the activity taking place there. But what exactly is going on at the site? It is known that teams take soil samples, fly drones and helicopters with transmitters that measure the electromagnetic field underground, as well as map the rock layers beneath them. To carry out this work, they have decided to use artificial intelligence with the ability to analyze the data and determine where they can drill. If their plans continue as planned, they are expected to start next summer. Quote, "It is worrying to witness the consequences and impact of climate change in Greenland, but generally speaking, warming has made exploration and mining easier and more accessible," said Blue Jay Mining CEO, Bo Moller Stensgaard. Along with that comment, he added that with longer periods of sea ice melting, crews can finally employ heavy machinery and ship to the global market with ease. Interesting. From what we've seen so far, you could say that the tycoons and billionaires who've decided to fund this treasure hunt are going all out. That alone explains the expense of state-of-the-art transmitters, weatherproof helicopters, and other perks. While it is important to know and explore certain areas on our planet, it is still necessary to know what other plans you have for Greenland. We'll see. As the ice melts, more pieces of land are coming to light after centuries and millennia of being buried. For mining companies, that new unknown patch could be what they've been looking for. Quote, "As these changes continue, there is no doubt that more land will become accessible. Moreover, some of that land could have enough potential for mineral development," said Mike Sfraga, chairman of the US Arctic Research Commission. From what we can see, many of us think that Greenland could be an area suitable for hosting large amounts of coal, copper, gold, rare earths, and even zinc. Because of this, the Greenlandic government has conducted several ice-free land resource analyses as they, quote, "recognize the country's potential to diversify the national economy through mineral extraction." Alongside these comments, Sfraga added that the decision to support mining does not neglect the environment. Quote, "The government of Greenland supports the responsible, sustainable, and economically viable development of its natural resources." On the other hand, Stensgaard said that these critical minerals, quote, "will provide part of the solution to meet the challenges presented by the climate crisis." While his intention appears to be good, some people are aware that the disappearance of Greenland's ice is raising sea levels. This has become a major concern for some sections of the public and for scientists studying the Arctic. Quote, "The big concern about Arctic sea ice is that it has been disappearing over the last few decades. If it continues like this, it's expected to potentially disappear in 20 to 30 years, Nathan Kurtz, a NASA scientist who studies sea ice, told CNN. In the fall, what used to be a perpetual Arctic ice sheet is now just a seasonal ice sheet. And with this commentary, we close the video of the day. Although the search for millionaires has become a treasure hunt, we can say that, at least so far, they seem to know what they want. Having new sources of resources is important for the survival of certain sectors. But we cannot forget that the planet is being depleted, so they will probably be more careful about it. And now that you know more about this issue, what do you think about the adventure that this group of millionaires is having? Will they soon show us any news about their trip to Greenland, or will we have to wait a few more months for any concrete news on the subject? Leave your comments in the box below, and remember to share the topics you want to see in the next videos. We're reading them. Thanks for sticking around for this part of the video. Subscribe and support us by leaving your like. See you next time.